everyone, my name is Matt Carter and welcome to episode number 54 of the show right here on Shaw TV. Our musical guest in behind me right now is Teri Puckett from Nanaimo, all over the music scene here in Nanaimo in the late 90s, late 2000s. Took a bit of a break. Now she's back on the music scene, playing right now with Al Medcalf. We're going to find out more about her and hear some more music later on this hour. Also on the show, we're going to find out what's happening for Legion Week, which is happening June 24th to 30th. Lorraine Jensen is going to sit down with Roy Empey from the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 171 in Ladysmith, and we will see if the interview is half full or half empty. Not even the first boo. All right, so we're also going to go foodie on you later. There's Todd, as Lorraine's going to welcome Peter Bowen, the 5-Minute Gourmet Chef, back to the Shaw TV studios. We're going to see apparently an amazing knife demo, as well as the best salad ever. That's my words, not his, but it's going to be awesome, awesome stuff. Joan Herron is going to find out about celiac disease as an autoimmune disorder of the small intestine. So stay tuned to digest some great information from raw foods expert Noni Watson and celiac disease educator Alex Pryor. Now Pryor is very strongly believes in her views, so make sure to stay tuned to hear about her prior convictions. All right, we may not have anyone here to sing the Steve Miller classic Fly Like an Eagle, but Brian Sugam is going to sit down with an eagle and chat with Sandy Cass, a trustee of the Fraternal Order of Eagles-Aerie number 15. But first on the show, we're going to start with Anna Bosa, who has a bit of a spiritual segment coming up involving a return guest to our show. So you're going to find out right now after our title sequence here on the show, coming to you on Shaw TV.
Welcome back. I'm here with Kathy. Welcome back, actually, Kathy Trew from True Believers. Kathy has been my guest once before, and welcome back. This time, Kathy is going to do my intuitive reading with a pendulum, using a pendulum. And she has brought her charts, and with her charts, you've actually made these charts, is that correct? Which is pretty awesome.
Took a long time.
Can you?
Also, I'll talk a little bit about
Would
the
you
charts.
mind? I would really like that.
I do teach people how to use these charts.
Right.
Each of the charts, and we'll be bringing the camera in a little closer later to have a look at them, is kind of like a tarot card deck. Okay. Only they're very individualized. And like I have 43 subjects.
Wow.
You can imagine. That's what I mean. It took a while to make all these. And I'll be teaching a class at Lobelia's Lair on the 26th of this month.
So if anybody, weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Today. And I start everybody off on an introduction chart. And this is, I gave you one of these last time.
I know you did.
I want everybody to see that when I hold this, I'm not making that pendulum move. That's the first thing. That's my energy that's doing this. And that's happening because I'm a Reiki master of a couple of different systems, so I can move the energy around. Right. So when I do a reading, I kind of go into your energy.
Okay.
And find out where you're at, and we're not doing anything embarrassing. And then I draw from the charts. And tonight we decided to do 2 basic charts, and one is going to be on discovering your psychic learning style, because we all have them, and there's 4 basic ones. And one of them is hearing, and people that are musicians, they have hearing. And then visual, that would be the camera guys, they're visual. And then there's a sense of knowing, and the women usually have that one more so, but not only. And then there's the physical, the body feelings, and that is mine, and I feel energy zooming around, and I get warm, and I feel like I have, sometimes it's like pops inside, moving around. And you were feeling it the last time I was here as well.
Actually,
so
Kathy performed Reiki on me, and it was amazing, and I did feel it. It was great.
Yes, I know you did. And I hope that it relaxed you.
It did. It really did.
So we're going to start, and I'm going to find out what your psychic style is, okay?
Alrighty.
And there's, as I said, there's actually another one. It is the sense of smell, but I don't have that one on here. Well, so first I'm going to connect to your energy, and remember, I forgot to tell everybody that when I'm moving energy, I make noise, and it's right here.
Right. It's more of a guttural noise. That's right. I remember that.
I tried to trade my style in, but it didn't work. So now I'm going to connect to your energy. Well, the pendulum's actually doing it. See how it's moving around?
Yes, it is. And it's going faster and faster. It is, too.
Okay, I'm in your energy. Okay, so now let's see where you're going with this.
And will it stop as to
well, it's circling that one. It's circling body feelings. And remember, we kind of almost knew that one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to find out on a scale of 1 to 10 how strong that is for you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, the body
it's,
feelings.
see, so the pendulum's going to a number. It's going, 6.5, 7.
6,
That's
okay.
pretty good, okay?
All right.
Now I'm going to
good.
go over here and see
That's
what
a good
else you have.
start.
It also says that you're visual.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Very.
Okay,
Very
and
much
so
so,
let's see on a scale of 1 to 10 how strong that is. That's coming in as, even though I say 1 to 20, lots of times the number's over. So you're
Okay.
you're a 20.
Okay.
Right. So
All right.
that's your power. That's your most powerful one. So let's just
That
see
is
what your
powerful.
hearing is.
Well, that'll be a good one too.
No,
'cause
it's a
of-
5.
That's not that good.
No, it's okay. I mean, and a sense of knowing.
And
That's the woman
other
thing.
one. That is the woman thing.
Yeah,
That's
and
probably
it-
up at a
woo,
20.
woo,
Is
woo,
that a
look
20?
at that. It's really good. Look at the pendulum saying that's your highest one right
That
there
is my
because it's
highest.
jumping around. So that's telling me that that's the highest one. So that's the information we get from the small
Okay.
chart. Now I'm going to
My
go over to
sense
the
of
big
knowing.
chart and it's going to say specifically how you connect.
Okay.
And I don't have everything in the world here, but let's see. And I don't have children here, and I should, but let's see what they're going to say.
Because I do have a son.
Yeah, I know you have a son. It says nature. Okay. It says creating anything.
It's great.
When you're here, you're creating.
I
right?
am creating.
It says coincidences. There are no coincidences, and you have a lot of things that just kind of happen when they're supposed
they're
to.
supposed to?
Yeah, yeah. And the other one is saying animals. You connect through animals
Yes,
as well.
I do.
Yes, I
I
know you
totally
do. And what else? Loving acts of kindness.
Oh, I like that one too.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to come back. We're going to take a little break right now. We're going to go to Lorraine on the main set. Thank you, Kathy. We'll be right back.
My guest this evening is Roy MP, and Roy is the president of Branch 171 of the Royal Canadian Legion in Ladysmith. Welcome, Roy.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a pleasure. So now you are here today to talk about Legion Week, which is coming up June 24th to June 30th.
Yes.
So in Ladysmith, you've told me you've got about 400 members in your community. Now, I just have one question before we start talking about the event. Do I need to be a member? Do I need to be a veteran or a family member of a veteran in order to become a member of the Legion?
No,
Okay.
no,
Good.
not anymore. We are losing. So we need more people to come, and this is what we're after now, is get the younger generation to come in. And
Now, you know, I can throw a dart and drink a beer. I'm English. But you're also a lot about service and community and volunteer work. Is that correct?
yeah,
Great.
we do a lot of that.
Fabulous. And so tell me what Legion Week is all about. You've got 2 big events coming up.
We have 2 events, big events coming up, and hoping that one of them is going to be a big surprise. I can't say anything about it because I don't know about the surprise yet. But the Legion will be open every day, and we're just hoping that everybody in the community will come down to the branch. They're welcome to come in and, you know, look at all the memorabilia on the walls. We just painted the place so it looks gorgeous. And we're having a soup and sandwich, and the Ladysmith singers are coming in on Thursday at 11:30. And then on Saturday, we're having an information booth outside. Anybody wants to know anything about membership or anything. Plus, there'll be free hot dogs and hamburgers, and it's going to be a long week. It's going to be a tiring week for all the executive and everybody, but we really look forward to it because it's for the community, and just try to get more people involved. It's a lot of work, but I've been president now for 2 years, and I can tell you, you spend on an average of 4 to 5 times a week that you're in that branch. You know, so you're a volunteer, but I love it. I just really love it.
So
And
is
that's-
everybody on the board and everybody that, I know that, you know, the people that work in the Legion are staff, but everybody else that's involved is a volunteer?
Yep.
Wow.
All the executive, you know, they're all volunteers, and you know, we have people that look after the buildings, we have people that look after the books, we have, you know, it's just membership, poppy, it goes on and on and on. And but they're all volunteers, we all work together, and we got a good group, a really good group.
And last year, how much did you tell me that you raised and donated back to the different parts of the community?
Well, it was pretty. It started off with $16,000, but then we do bursaries for the schools, and through the Poppy Funds for the kids for the poster contest. And they do posters, they write letters, they do poems, and then they're all picked, and they get some good dollars out of it, and it's to try and keep those kids going for scholarships. And so we give a lot of money away there. So it's another $11,000, I would say.
Wow,
You know,
close to $30,000 donated
probably.
last year.
Yep.
Excellent. So our time is up, Roy. I wish you all the best at your Legion Week. And, you know, thank you for being such a great ambassador for the community.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Roy. And now I'd like to pass the camera back to Anna.
Show that chart.
Thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Now, we're back. Kathy, this week has been a bit of a stressful week for me, let's say. Okay? And you're going to help me with that, aren't you? You're going to relieve all my stress, and it's all going to flow out of me, isn't it?
Because I have 43 charts, and one of them is about stress. So let's find out
Okay.
about the stress.
Okay.
And so there's 2 circles, and the little circle is going to tell you where your stress is showing up.
Okay.
And it says your mental outlook
Okay,
takes
yep.
a big
Yes.
nosedive, right? And on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where are you at? You did have a bad week. You
I
went all the
did.
way down to 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and now let's see, does it show up any other place?
And if it...
It's
okay,
saying in your
so
digestive system. Your
Yes,
stomach gets
yeah,
upset?
yeah,
okay.
yeah, it does.
And on a scale
I
of
feel
1
like
to
a
10,
kid.
where were you at? Yeah, you were at, oh my goodness, I don't want to know what went on, but it wasn't good. Okay, so let's see what the advice is that they're going to.
Okay, I'd like advice.
Because these charts do give advice.
It does,
It
yeah.
says that you really have to, and I was talking to you about this in the
Yes.
break, the release and breathe,
That's
right?
right.
To let go, absorb,
let it
and
all
let
out.
go and absorb, yeah. It only takes 3 deep breaths to help change things. And it says there's some things you just have to deal with.
Yes.
You're avoiding something, and they're laughing again.
They are laughing. They're laughing at me.
Yeah, and they want you to maintain a healthy diet and lifestyle, right? And so we were kind of talking about that in the break
Yeah.
too, is like,
Yeah, we were.
nature was a big one for you
It
on
was
this chart, and so
huge,
you
yeah.
have to get out into nature.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
and you have to quiet your busy mind, because you're a mother and you just have all sorts of things.
Lot going
And it
on.
also says you have to reach out and share. So when you go for a walk, maybe you need to go for a walk with somebody that you can have a good talk with, right?
Okay,
So,
yeah,
you know,
that's a good idea.
And so the other
And
thing
that
I'm-
would help my stress.
Oh, yeah, for sure it will, for sure it will. So I'm going to find out how stressed out you are right now on a scale of 1 to 10.
You
So,
mean like
well, no,
20?
it's saying you're 6. So I want you just to relax for a minute, because I don't know we have much time. I'm going to
Okay.
ask the pendulum. See how fast it's going?
It's going fast.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
doing that, guys. We're going to
Yeah, I know.
release this, and I want you to feel what's going on in your body, okay? Now, whoo.
It's
Are you feeling something?
warm.
Yeah, I can see you're getting
I'm
all
warm.
red.
I'm getting really, really warm.
Yeah.
Like even
Okay,
my
well,
ears
it's
are getting
working.
warm.
It's working. Well, we don't have much time, so it's like, okay, work fast. All right.
You can't force it either.
No, but you should feel more relaxed after we're done with
I
this.
am more relaxed.
Well, we're not done yet.
No, but I'm
we are.
getting more relaxed.
So this is what I do for people. So I do readings like this. I teach them, and like I say, I'll be teaching it at Lobelia's Lair. But I also do. I can do this on the phone.
And you also have a website, is
Oh
that
yeah, I have a
correct?
wonderful website.
TrueBelievers.com.
TrueBelievers.com. And it has a lot of information. So I mean, anybody can learn how to do this.
Excellent. Thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you came back. We'll have to get you back again. And
Well, then.
we're going to go to Teri Puckett, and she is going to perform Stay.
All right, that's Teri Puckett on Al Metcalf on lead guitar with the song Stay. I'll be speaking with Teri later on this hour. As well, we got some segments coming up on food. We got Chef Peter Bowen in the house, also looking at celiac disease, as well as look at what the Eagles Club is up to here in Nanaimo. Before we move on, though, just a quick shout out about stuff happening on Central Vancouver Island on Canada Day. Fête du Canada en français. It's, of course, marks the joining in 1867 of the British North American colonies of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, and at the time, what was called the Province of Canada, which then was, in Confederation, was split up into Ontario and Quebec. Now, the original holiday was called Dominion Day, and it actually was called that until about 1982, and the Canada Act was passed. And actually, Canadians didn't really celebrate Canada Day all that much until the late 50s and early 60s, coming up to the centennial. So now it's the holiday we know now, where basically we just run around like goofs and paint leaves on our face. So good times indeed. Some of the great stuff happening on Central Vancouver Island. Canada Day in Nanaimo will be down at Maffeo Sutton Park from 11 in the morning until 3:30. Celebration of flags, entertainment from the Midnights, Auntie Bobby, the Tidesman, Jaden Holman, and Bobby Schramm. Great stuff there. Canada Day in Parksville goes pretty much all day, starting at 7:30 in the morning with a pancake breakfast put on those good folks, the Shriners. That's in the parking lot of the Credit Union on Craig Street. Parade going on at 10 a.m. And then later on, of course, the famous fireworks down in Parksville Beach. Again, that's starting at about 10 p.m. Music going on all day there as well. For Canada Day down in Ladysmith, there'll be festivities down at Transfer Beach, including an art show and auction going from 11:30 in the morning until 12:30, as well as some live music, some kids and families games, official ceremonies going on, and that's happening from 1 until 5. Canada Day in Port Alberni is going to feature Canada Day Parade starting at 10 in the morning. As well, there'll be all sorts of family-oriented activities happening down at Glenwood Center. Again, that's going for most of the afternoon. Canada Day in Chemainus, you got to check it out down at Waterwheel Park from 11:30 until 3:30, featuring performer Rick Scott, as well as a barnyard petting zoo, First Nation activities, craft tent, art exhibits, and more. And finally, Canada Day down in Duncan will be celebrated at the BC Forest Discovery Center. That's happening from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., featuring a flag ceremony, live music concession, and of course, that famous 1910 steam train named Samson. Trains and trees, I don't think it really gets much more Canadian than that. As well, I should let you know right here on Shaw TV, we're running Canada Day programming from midnight till midnight, including a 2-hour national show called Our Canada, Our Home. And that's put together by our own Todd Jones here. He's the king of Elliott Lake, that's what we like to call him. As well, there'll be also some Canada Day segments featuring Vancouver Islanders and the traditions that bind us together as Canadians. Personally, my main tradition is to chug a liter of maple syrup and watch some of those National Film Board Canadian Heritage things. Oh, but Mr. Naismith, we have to take the peach baskets down. I love basketball. Anyhow, check that out again. And barring that, we can always on Canada Day celebrate Danny G's birthday. Yeah, Danny's birthday. Yeah, it's her birthday on Canada Day. They're clapping back there in the booth where she's working. Happy birthday, Danny, early to you. All right, so now let's move along. We're going to go over to the main set now and talk to Joan Herron. Joan, over to you.
Thanks, Matt, for all that information about Canada Day. I can't believe it's almost Canada Day. It's crazy. I'm here with Noni and Alex, who are going to help me understand a little bit more about celiac disease. And Noni actually has committed herself completely by opening Rhombas, which is a raw food and 100% gluten-free restaurant. But it's more than that. So does the food have to be raw to be?
It doesn't.
Okay.
But it has to be gluten-free. That's the trick. When you have celiac disease, you have an intolerance to gluten, as our friend Alex over here knows. So our restaurant is a gluten-free restaurant, and we just chose to make it vegan. We just wanted to have a healthy alternative to conventional fast food restaurants. So we do have burgers, pizza, and wraps, but it is all gluten-free. And as a family, our family owns my 3 wonderful sons, my beautiful daughter-in-law.
I met your son yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah,
Which one?
I met Biff, and you know, I went in and I tried some of your food. It was amazing.
Thank you. Well, as a family, of course, we want to run wonderful restaurants and serve good food, but also on a personal mission, we would like to inform the community about this disease that is so prolific, and it's amazing because so few people know about it.
Well, you're passionate about it, and yet you don't suffer from celiac yourself.
I don't, but I do have personal relationships with people that have celiac disease, and something that's so important for the community. I'm going to look right in the camera and tell you, if you have a beating heart, go get tested, because 1 in every 133 people is celiac positive, and whether you know it or not, because sometimes there are no symptoms, but your body is still generating problems because of it.
Well, so tell me about some of the symptoms.
Well, they can range from no symptoms at all to, you know, of course, gut and diarrhea, bloating, to brain fog, which you and I
Brain
discussed
fog.
the other day.
Yes,
and
can't imagine having brain fog.
depression, any chronic conditions can be attributed to celiac, hair falling out, you know, chronic rashes,
Right.
children not growing, you know.
Not assimilating food.
Exactly.
So we have Alex here, and she actually is a person who's very familiar with this, and we've brought you along to tell us a little bit about your average day. And you have some things here that you carry. Show me the bag that you actually carry these in. You have a bag that you take around with you?
No,
to,
this is
oh, okay.
this
Well,
is my grocery bag, but that's okay.
well, you have to have some way of
yeah.
carrying this stuff around with you. So.
Well, I don't actually bring my toaster everywhere I go, but that is my special toaster because I live with my sister and she's not a celiac, so.
Right, and contamination is a really big factor, right?
Yeah, no, that's definitely the biggest problem that I have. This is my toaster bag, so if I'm traveling or on you know, somebody's house, I can still use their toaster.
A
I'm
toaster
not
bag.
obsessed with toast, but
Okay.
yeah.
So you put it in.
You put your toast in the bag, and you can put the bag in the toaster if the toaster is full of wheat.
Right.
So,
Wow, it's amazing because I know that even the slightest bit of contamination will make
Yeah.
a difference. So you may think that you're getting gluten-free, but if it's cooked anywhere, or even the
usually
grain
not.
comes from somewhere. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you. It's a genetic disease, and you actually found out first, and then your grandma found out. Is that how it worked?
Yeah, I found out when I was 19, so this is my 4th summer with celiac disease, and my gran only found out less than 2 years ago, and she's in her 70s, so like she went her whole life and didn't know that she had it, so I'm lucky that I found out.
You are lucky
so
that
early.
you found out.
Yeah.
And so what's the biggest message that you have for people as far as people that might not know that they have it or are experiencing some of those symptoms?
It's not as a pain in the butt as you think it's going to be. It's not that bad. It seemed awful when I heard that I was positive, and I thought, oh, this is not something that I'm actually going to get. And I got a call from my doctor, and I went home and ate a bowl of Fruit Loops and went to bed. And it seems like a lot to figure out, and it's not. It's a very minor part of my life. And
Once you know about it. So what
Yeah.
did you do? You go to the doctor, you get tested, and it's
you
a
have
really
a blood
simple test.
and if it shows you have the marker in your blood that you've activated your celiac disease, then you have a biopsy, and that confirms it.
Okay.
So
Well,
you shouldn't, you
we're-
shouldn't go gluten-free until you know,
Great.
because that will skew your tests.
That's great, and this time flies by so fast, but I want people to know where they can go to find out more. So they can go to the website and have a link to the Celiac Disease
Yes.
Organization, to
Yes,
Rhombus.
we do. At Rhombus website, we have a link to Canadian Celiac Association, www.rhombus.ca.
And that's RAWMBAS.ca.
Correct. And we have
Okay.
a link. We also raise money for the celiac disease, so we're very proud that we've donated over $2,000.
You're doing a lot. It's
Yeah.
amazing what you guys
Yeah,
are doing.
thank
you
you.
so much for coming on and sharing. And now we're going to go back to Matt.
Thank you very much, Joan, and thank you very much, Alex and Noni as well, for coming on the show. I'm here now with Teri Puckett, our musical guest for this episode. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Excellent, yeah, great tunes. And now the first thing I want to ask, I mean, usually we don't get too much into sort of the real far back histories of our guests, but is this true you were born in Algeria?
It's true, but I do not speak Arabic.
Not whatsoever. You've never been back?
Never.
So I was thinking you could probably rename this duo Al Medcalf and the Algerian.
Or Al Medcalf and the... Oh, no, this could go somewhere. You know what? You're right.
Always thinking, always thinking.
Yes.
Now, speaking about sort of going somewhere, now I know for myself, I started playing music sort of in the Nanaimo bars back in the late 90s, 2000s, and your name was everywhere. You were performing all over the place.
I was all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place. Who wasn't back in the late 90s? And now you're making a comeback of sorts. So to tell us about, I guess, your music experience in the Nanaimo back then to now.
Oh, wow. It's pretty wild, actually, because I really felt like I was really out there back then. And now I'm because I've had babies and I was married and I had babies and I devoted my life to that for many years, for 10 years. I'm just kind of making a comeback now, but I need to say I don't desire to be a rock star, you know, but because of my age and because of my mom, all those things. But I definitely want to be a part of the musical community.
Absolutely. And I was actually going to ask you about it too. How has your songwriting changed now, sort of being Teri the mom as opposed to maybe the Teri, the wanting to be a rock star back, 10, 15 years ago?
Well, I'm not writing children's songs, but I have to say that it's just more grown up, and I feel more evolved, and I feel like I know I don't want to be in a top 40 band anymore. I know that for sure. I just want to play really earthy music. Yeah.
So maybe describe some of the songs you are writing now. There's certain influences or certain direction in your lyrics, anything along those lines?
Well, you know what, I just write what I know, what I feel about. And that's usually pain. But lately, I've been writing some happy songs, and but they're not ready yet.
Happiness still is being massaged through.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, very, very cool. Now, you mentioned sort of, you don't want to necessarily be the rock star anymore, but as we mentioned earlier in this, you do want to get back out, start playing venues, sort of be on the scene at least. So what's the draw to doing that, to playing in front of a crowd instead of just playing at home?
You know what, I love to perform. There's no doubt about it. I love to perform, and there's a certain gratitude that I get from that that I don't get at home, because my daughters say, "Oh, Mom, that's awful." They're so candid and so young, and I appreciate their input too. But no, I just I really enjoy performing, and I get so much inspiration from that.
Absolutely. Just one more question too, sort of about, again, now as a mother, if any of your children come up to you and say, "Mom, I want to be a musician," what would you tell them?
I'd say go for it. I have your back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love the support. One more quick thing too about sort of where you played. I read in your bio that you actually did a tour of Taiwan.
I did. I went on tour with Matthew Lian, who's from the Yukon, and it was amazing. It was totally amazing. It was a completely different cultural experience. I was a true rock star, and then the next week I came home and I was washing dishes at my day job.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's grounding.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, what were the differences between the crowds there in Taiwan as opposed to the crowds here?
Well, they're very, very appreciative. I think that the crowds here are appreciative too, but if you're foreign, you know,
you've got a bit of a niche there, yeah.
You have an edge there. That's
Exactly.
right. Just like here, where like people come from far away and people appreciate them more.
Exactly. All right, we're going to wrap it up here and get to another song, but to quickly first, upcoming gigs. You do have one in July at the Dingy Dog Pub, I do believe.
Yes, and there's two other artists. Two other bands. There's Manglewood, and I'm not sure who the artist is.
Okay.
He's from out of town, I think. But it's totally worth it. It's $20 a ticket, and that includes your boat fare to and from, and you get to see 3 different acts. So how can you go wrong?
Awesome stuff. And finally, if people want to contact you about musical projects or any more information on your music, how can they get a hold of you?
They could email me at tlpuckett2@shaw.ca.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, Teri Puckett here, the show on Shaw TV. We're going to hear a song now called Long Way Home. Once again, on the show here on Shaw TV.
Why'd you lie when I've heard it all before? Now you're on your knees begging please, one more squeeze before I close the door. It's too late for apologies. We're so go blind, don't remind me, now it's plain to see. Now there's nothing here for me. Got nothing left to see. It's a hell of a long way. Hell of a long way. I won't cry, 'cause I can't live in yesterday. Now you're on your knees begging please. It doesn't matter anyway. Now there's nothing left for me. I got nothing left to say. But don't you go away. Hell of a long way home. Hell of a long way It's too late. Your apologies.
My guest is Peter Bowen, and Peter Bowen is the 5-Minute Gourmet Chef. Welcome, Peter.
Hi, Lorraine.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me here today.
Wow. Now, when I talked to Peter about coming on the show today, we talked about doing some kind of
Knife
demonstration.
demo.
And he said, well, I'm going to talk about knives. And I thought, okay, talk about knives. So let's talk about knives.
I've got a ton of knives at home, and most chefs do. Here's a selection of some of the knives I have, and they're great. A knife like this, oh, I'm sorry, is definitely good for chopping up. You've got 100 pounds of carrots. A knife like this is good for doing a turkey, taking it off the bone. A knife like this is good for cutting something really heavy, like something frozen. This is a good bread knife. That's a boning knife. It's flexible. Aha, but what kind of knife are you going to use most of the time? This knife, the chef knife. What's good about it? I'll show you. Grab a cutting board here. We'll do a little demo without even something to cut here right now. What's good about this is you put your fingers underneath and they do not hit when you're going like that.
Show me that again. Show me that again. Now,
See-
what do you do with your fingers?
See, my fingers won't hit now. Okay, now I want to show you something else. Here's a couple of knives that I got from the thrift store. Okay. Now, this is the kind of knife that you often find in people's homes. I go over to help people cook, and nobody has a knife, and that's why I'm talking about this today. Now, what's wrong with this knife here? Apart from shoddiness, and it's so flexible, there's no way you'd be able to sharpen it. Also, when you cut with it, your fingers are going to get, your knuckles are going to get smashed on the cutting board. That doesn't make any sense.
So get rid of that one.
Get rid of this one.
Back to the thrift store.
Okay, what about this one? This is an old carbon knife. This is 50 years old. It's before stainless steel. This is the kind of knife they tell you about. If you cut lettuce, it will make it go rusty. All these other knives...
Rusty?
Rusty. You know that brown? If you cut lettuce with this type of knife, it'll turn rusty and brown.
Really?
And that people say, so you're not supposed to cut lettuce with knives. Well, that's just the old school. Any one of these knives, if you cut lettuce with it, it's just fine. So, what are we going to talk about here? I'm going to show you how to sharpen a knife now. It's no good just having a knife. if you have a knife at home and you buy it nice and sharp from the store, and then a couple of months later it's not sharp anymore, what are you going to do? You need to buy a sharpening stone. There's nothing fancy about it. It's got a rough side and a smooth side. Start off on the rough side. A little bit of water. Some people use oil. Smooth it over. Put my fingers like this.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Put it over a little close to the edge.
Yeah.
Like that, and go back and forth, back and forth. I'm putting it's not flat, I'm putting about a 10%, 15% angle right there. All the way from one end to the other. If you don't do that all the way from one end to the other, what will happen is that this kind of thing will happen where it's not quite flat. See, someone has sharpened this, but not all the way. This is a 30-year-old knife, and that happens, and it doesn't go right to the bottom. So when you're cutting, there's a little tiny little space that it doesn't cut to the board, and so naturally it's not going to cut all the way through. So once again, all the way through, like this, like that, on one side, and you do it quite a bit more than that. And then the other side.
Why do you turn it over?
Because this is the smooth side. First, I started off with the rough side.
Oh, there's two different sides to this?
Yeah, see, that's rougher. So you started off with the rough side, and then I'm fine-tuning this like this. Now, I already sharpened this before I came on the show, so I cheated. But this is really sharp now. Well, there's one more thing you got to do to make it perfect and to keep it sharp, and that is steel my knife. Better not. Okay, this is a steel. Okay, all you got to do, there's two ways that you can go like this or like this.
Sheesh.
I prefer this method, even though it looks dangerous, because I find it a little easier. So what am I doing? 15% angle, once again. Right from the top, from the bottom, right through to the top. You got to do that about half a dozen times, and your knife is razor sharp. All right, let's chop a few things. Now we got a sharp knife. Cutting board.
Do you always use a cutting board? You probably go right through this thing with that knife.
Yeah. And you know what? A good trick is to get a slightly moist cloth and put it underneath where you're going to have your cutting board, and it just helps it sit in place.
Oh.
It's not going to run around so easily then.
Oh.
All right, let's cut some stuff.
You've done this before.
I have indeed, just once or twice. All right, stick this over here, and we'll talk about these later if we got time.
Okay.
Put them over here for now. 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, let's chop the zucchini.
Okay.
Right, here we go. We're going to make some julienne. Cut them in half. Make a base. See how sharp that is now? And get a few of them lined up like this. That's all there is to it. Now, we got 30 seconds. I'm going to show you exactly how I teach my students how to use a knife. Imagine you're going to rip out my still beating heart. It's still beating. You put it on the board, and you put the knife right there, and you hold the heart on the board. If you let the heart go and it falls on the board, you're likely going to cut ends off your fingers. Make sure you hold that heart. I teach students how to, it's teenage students, and they love this kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to show you one more little thing with a zucchini, and I think we're out of it. Okay, how to make a quick crown. Okay, watch this. Up, down. Do this real fast. I've done thousands of these. That's all there is to it. Check this out.
Holy.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you can put that on a baking pan, put a little olive oil on there, little spices, throw it in the oven, bake it for about 15 minutes, and it's a beautiful, beautiful vegetable.
Wow. So in the meantime, you and I can keep chopping. We're going to go over to Brian, and he's going to talk to his guest. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Lorraine, and I'm here today with Sandy Cass, who's a trustee with the Eagles-Aerie number 15, which is the local Eagles organization in Nanaimo. And Sandy, can you tell us a little bit about the Eagles and a bit of the history?
It was founded in 1898, and it was out of Seattle, Washington, and it was formed 6 men who had theaters and they had a problem. So they decided to start this up to fix things in the community. So then our Aerie was in 1899, so it is one of the oldest ones in North America. And our motto is people helping people, and that's what we try and do. Everything we do is to help the community or people in the community.
Good, great. I know you with the local club. It's located on Fraser Street in downtown Nanaimo.
Yes. It's on 245 Fraser. It's right beside the. It's right beside the Racket Club and Mrs. Ritchie's.
Okay, I'm just looking at your brochure, and it's not only a fraternal club that raises money locally, but it's also a social club that gets people together to do some things and enjoy their company with each other.
Absolutely. We have dart teams, we have golfing tournaments, we have pool tournaments, we have horseshoe pitch tournaments. There's always something going on at the club.
Can you tell me a little bit about some of the local projects that you've raised funds for, or you're currently raising funds for?
We are doing the therapeutic riding. We raise money for them. Also Fishes and Loaves. We do the Hospice Society, the Children's Hospital, and they come to us, and every year we sit down and decide who we're going to give the money to, but we try to always make it somebody local.
Okay, like any local fraternal group or service club, you're going through a bit of transition, and some of your members have left the club, and your numbers are a little bit down, and you want to encourage some people to join. So we have the listing of your local number for people to call you. The process, is it very involved to sign up?
Absolutely not. They just have to come in, fill out an application form for us. We have, they will be brought in and initiated into the club. It's for anybody, like anybody who's got some spare time that wants to help the community or just wants a social club.
Okay. And as I understand it, there's an area in Ladysmith, and there's one in Parksville, but you're the only Eagles club in Nanaimo.
Yes.
And previously you were right on Bastion Street, but now you're on Fraser Street.
Yes.
A little smaller club, but you're able to do some functions and certainly do some projects to raise money for local projects. And all that money stays
We
in
try
Nanaimo?
to keep it all in Nanaimo.
Wonderful. That's great information. This is a club that's done a lot of things in the U.S. and achieved some things. I'm looking at the brochure. Go by, give a call to the local club, talk to Sandy, and you'll get more information about the Eagles. It's listed on the screen. Please give them a call, and let's send it over to, I think we have Lorraine ready with more work with the 5-Minute Gourmet.
Thanks, Brian. Peter and I are now going to make a salad. He is going to chop. Show us how to chop.
First, before I go to chop up the vegetables, I'm going to show you how to make a salad dressing, which involves chopping. Here we got a garlic. I'm going to cut off to the end there. We're going to use a little bit of salt. I got over here. We're just going to get a rough chop like this.
Oh, that makes me really nervous.
Throw some salt on there, and then using the side of your knife like that, just grind it up. And see, then after that, you got a puree. It only takes a few seconds. We'll throw that in the bottom. We're going to throw in some Dijon mustard. Tiny a little bit more salt. Pepper. Fancy new pepper mill here.
This is way out of my comfort zone, just so you know. I just got to Costco and open a bag.
There you go. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of vinegar. Vinegar helps it emulsify. Like that. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of shallot too. Makes it really tasty. Throw that in. Right, now we're going to whisk it. Would you like just to hold the bowl for a second?
Oh, I thought I got to
whisk it in. We got salt and pepper in there, olive oil, 3 parts olive oil to 1 part vinegar. We're done.
It
That's
smells
finished. Yeah.
delicious.
Okay, now let's whip up some green stuff.
Let's do that.
Okay, let's chop up some cool stuff here. We're going to throw it on this salad here, my organic greens from my garden. All right, we just need a little bit of this.
A little bit of that.
A little bit of that. But pop one on the other. Chop that julienne. See, I'm using that method I'm telling you about. Bean hearts.
yeah.
Here, it's right in there. Throw that on there, around there. Do some more zucchini. Why not, eh?
And that's local too, right?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely, no, it isn't. It's not. It's still a little early for zucchini.
Oh. But it will be.
It will be local, yes. It'll be coming up pretty soon. My zucchini plants are about this big right now, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, there we go. Let's put a little bit of red onion on there.
Oh, well, why not?
Why the heck not? Yeah. There we go. All right, perfect. We just need a little bit on there. Perfect, that's enough.
Have you hurt yourself?
No, I do not. Because of that method I was telling you, but my hands are like that, I never ever. You know what? I'll show you something. Watch this. I'm going to look at you.
Oh, don't.
Hello, Lorraine. How does that look?
Oh, don't like it.
Like that. There's no way I can cut myself if you use the right technique. All right, let's throw some flowers on here. Calendula flowers from my garden. Yeah. Borage flowers, beautiful blue. Tastes a little bit like cucumbers.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit of fennel flower. Yeah. Turn that around. Oh, how does that look, Lorraine?
That looks like art.
Yeah, art on the plate. And you know what? We got a couple of seconds. Let's add a couple of things to this. We got some fresh Italian flat leaf parsley, some oregano, and right up here, my friendly basil plant.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, let's take some basil. Now you want to cook herbs. The easiest way to do it is make a little package like this. Blow it down. Hold on, I'm holding it together. Done. Now, say I want to make that a little finer. Put your hand like that so you don't cut this off. And go like this. Done. Right, let's throw some of that in there. We don't need it all, it's quite a bit. All right.
Oh, can I hold the bowl again?
Oh, you can if you want.
Come on.
Okay, there we go. All right, now all we're gonna do is put a little bit of dressing on here, and we are finished making the salad and dressing.
Wow.
Look at that. I'm hungry already.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
It is indeed.
Wow.
Now, let's do something else. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. A little bit of salt.
Rinse off my knife here. And yeah, it's good luck. Go on,
Yeah,
let's do it.
I did.
Yeah, here we go. All right, pineapple. We have time for a pineapple? Nobody seems to know how to cut a pineapple. What's this? Off the top. Well, I'm going to take a little bit more on this side. All right, easy. All you got to do is go around like that on the pineapple.
This has been the easiest toasting I've ever done.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't have to do anything.
And then you cut out the inner part here, and there you go. You're ready to cut up your pineapple. And let's throw a little bit on here. Why not?
Why not?
Why the heck not? That's kind of neat.
How many fruits and vegetables are you supposed to have a day?
Really? Lots and lots.
They're
We'll
right.
clean this up later. Okay, let's do something else now. Oh, oh, I know. Nobody seems to know how to do a mango.
Oh,
Mangoes
you're absolutely right.
What do you do with a mango? And I'm going to show you the very coolest thing.
You got 30 seconds to
Thai
cut
lady.
that mango.
Oh, I could cut 1,000 mangoes in 30 seconds. Okay, here we go. Now, watch this. You go up and down a bit. I'm going around this.
pip.
Watch this. Be very careful doing this, folks. You can use a paring knife too. I've done this for so many years that I'm not really worried about it.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Put that on a plate. How beautiful is that?
It's lovely. It is just lovely.
Yeah.
So when I spoke to Peter, he was telling me that he's been doing this for a very long time. And so he invited me to go to his YouTube page and check out the 5-Minute Gourmet Chef
Oh, it's
on
a
YouTube.
lot of fun, yeah.
And I've been watching, and I tell you, I just can't wait to go. Oh, I knew you'd be here sooner than later. To go onto YouTube and start following some of your recipes. This has just been amazing. I'm surprised that. No, there you go. It's been fabulous having you here. Thank you so
Lorraine.
much.
Thank you so much for
are
having
a
me.
ball of energy. And I think it's time to turn it over. I'm pretty sure to Matt.
I can't steal. This is beautiful, beautiful stuff.
But way too healthy for you.
Way too healthy for me. Yes, exactly. Ho, ho, ho. Peter, thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
on the
Matt.
show. Again, we've
Lots
had
of
you a
fun.
number of times, and it's always, again, an awesome performance. Again, check him out online, 5minutegourmet.com, and that's the number 5, correct?
Yep, number 5.
Number 5minutegourmet.com, and I tell you, I really do love me a good salad. I just often, if I see one, I'll put on my bib and just say you can't beat greens,
That's
as it
right.
were. So, and I also heard the same thing, actually, from current New York Yankees and former Seattle Mariners slugger, the Rad Ichio Suzuki. Rad Ichio Suzuki. All right, but you better know what you should leave alone when you're roaming the countryside looking for vegetables. Though I must admit, it's not as dangerous as trying to find veggies on the top of an iceberg, you know, when the waves get big and water crests over the top, you know, right in the middle of a kale storm. Okay, wait, hold on. Here's the best one. Okay, if you're a salad fan, what do you call a sexy French thief? A rogue, oh la la. A rogue, oh la la. All right, I got my first boo there. All right, well, it looks like we better come to the conclusion because the show is taking a bit of an end dive right about now. So I want to say thanks to our guests, our hosts, our volunteers, and the staff behind the cameras and in front of the scenes. I also want to thank Country Grocer for feeding this hungry crew some sandwiches. And they'll probably be getting into Peter Bowen salad here after it. You can also check us out on Facebook now at facebook.com/theshowonshaw. We have video links and photos and the like. You can also find previous episodes of the show on YouTube. Just look for the Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island page there as well. And finally, if you know someone or you yourself want to be a guest here on the show, well, we are looking for some wonderful personalities here from Central Vancouver Island. Just email our producer, Melissa Hall, at melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. Again, it's melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. All right, now, show's almost over, and so time for one more song from Teri Puckett and Al Metcalf. The song is called Over You, so send it over to them, and thank you so much for watching the show right here, Shaw TV.
By the time you call, I'll be over you. I won't miss you at all, or the things you do. Erase my face from your memory. Give me back my heart. Give me back the key. 'Cause I'll get over you if you want me to. I'll get over you if it's the last thing that I do. Oh, I'll get over you. By the time you change, I'll have changed my mind. Now the feeling's strange. Just go away, I don't need you to remind. 'Cause